video. No, I don't.
There's
Hello.
so many buttons now to press. Hello
I'm
from
so
me and the Council of Wisdom.
Council of Wisdom. I mean,
Have a very varied collection of advisors here and a multitude of dragons and a dinosaur, which is kind of like a dragon. So we have moved locations. Your location is so much more festive than mine, but
this is
I have
Chris.
a blanket where I am, so that's why I'm sad.
I've got one. You can't even see it. It's there. One snowman bauble
You
that's
wonder.
adorning my tree. I haven't. I bought some new baubles, and they didn't come with thread.
Oh, that's
So
so
I've got to
annoying when
thread
they
them
do
up.
that.
And when I got them home, I was like, I cannot be asked. So I've crocheted a bauble.
Nice.
I will get him for you.
I'm gonna get my bauble.
He's a
Wow.
little snowman.
I saw this one. I saw it online.
He's so annoying. So
Oh my gosh, Tufty is here. He remembered this time. Welcome.
after
Welcome from the Council and the Snowman.
the council and this guy.
The Snowman.
So yeah, this is my first bauble for the Christmas tree, and I'll just do the rest.
No, fair enough. I've got all my boxes down from the loft. I say I didn't. Jack went in the loft and got all my boxes down from the loft. Because now that they're down, because it is not a one-person thing, because we don't actually have a ladder that goes all the way up to our loft. It is a bit of a mission to get up there. Bless him, but he passed them all down to me. And now that they're in the spare room, when I get the time, I can do the decorating all by myself because it is in an easily accessible place.
Oh, Tuffy. Ahoy there, your resplendences. I saw the upcoming event on YouTube.
I'm already yawning.
You
It's
know,
no offense. I am so tired after last night. Like we got back at gone midnight, but it was worth it. It was
to
so
see Mr. Christoph.
I did meet Mr. Christoph. I went to London and then just had not the best experience because of trains and everything. So luckily, my friend that I went with, she managed to join the queue and get up and get her book signed, and she got one signed for me, which was very nice of her. And get her photo taken with Sir Christoph. But
So,
because they saw it as we were cutting the queue, because my friend had spoken to the lady. Bearing in mind the event finished at 8, like the talk finished at 8, and then yeah, my mate talked to one of the ladies who was guarding the queue at like 9:45. Like, we have a train at 10:30. Is there any way? And she turned around to us and she went, well, because we're letting you skip the queue, only one of you can go up. And I was like, okay. So I did shout at him from a pew. And then Jack, being a little bundle of goodness, was like, I can tell that that's not the experience that you wanted. Let's just go again. And we managed to find tickets to Manchester. So we went again.
that is it. That is amazing.
And we got insomnia cookies, which I don't think we have in Birmingham. I've never seen them. I've seen them online. And they were good. And we had a Subway for tea.
We.
It was great. Not that that's anything that we're here to talk about at all,
But we are here to talk about something super exciting, and that is A Fool's Hope by Matt Chappell. I've been
like half an hour ago. But also, in my defense, you finished it today too, so.
Sorry, I'm looking up here because my screen's here and my camera's. I've took my camera off.
Straight ahead. You're
Yeah.
not looking at me.
I am looking at you.
No.
Looking above you.
Be not.
Yeah, so I have been really immersed into the world of D&D right now. So I've been watching the recent campaign for Critical Role, and then don't ask me why, because the 140 episodes are about 4 hours long. But I went back. I've already seen the series, season 1 of Vox Machina and season 2, I think.
Yes.
Whatever. So I didn't want to go watch that campaign,
Mm.
but then I decided to watch campaign 2. Started last week, and I'm
Nice.
now 51 episodes deep, and I'm
Jesus.
completely obsessed. I've been so stressed. I've cried. Luckily I have Ash and Becca that I can talk to about it, and I'm
Mm.
like, "How did you cope watching this like on a weekly basis and not knowing what the fuck was going on?"
God.
So yeah, that's been my obsession. So I had to break away to read this book, but I'm so glad I did. What did you rate it?
I haven't actually put it through my rating system, but I think it's going to be a 4. I did really enjoy it, but I think it loses some points for how much I struggled at the start.
I think it's 4.5 for me.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
was like first one was a 4, and this was definitely a level up from the first book for me.
I think it is a level up in everything that happens. I feel like the writing definitely got better. That's the wrong phrase, but you can tell that he's found his rhythm, which is quite nice.
And
Um,
also, anyone who hasn't watched us before, we do talk spoilers, and we don't really talk in a linear fashion. But yeah, oh, it is spoiler filled. So if you haven't read the book, and you don't care about spoilers, continue to join the conversation and watch the the show. But
oh,
if
come
you do care
backwards.
about you do care about spoilers, then you might wanna
Skedaddle.
get out of here.
Skedaddle. Yeah, I really do think that Mike found his rhythm with this one.
Mm,
But yeah, I struggled at the start of this book, and it's probably much more of a me thing. But I think that's what kind of, from having not put it through my rating system, that is where I think it's not quite a 5. But for some fun reason, these books get bigger with every installment. So that means book 3 is even bigger than book 2, and book 2 is still almost 600 pages long. So we're in for a lot. But I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I don't know if you felt the same way when you were reading this, but there was part of me, probably like 80% into this book, where I was like, could this not just finish? Like, it almost felt like it was going to be a duology, even though I knew it was going to be a trilogy. Like,
yeah, I feel
when
like it could.
Zoric comes back
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
serves some justice, um,
She becomes
there
a
was a point there where I was like, so how do we have a third book? Like, no,
yeah.
with no offense to the world or anything, it just felt like it was like very neatly kind of coming to its end. But then
And
obviously
then it
a
wasn't.
lot more things happened, and
And
I
then it really wasn't.
this is
So
why
for
we have another book,
so
which is
for
great.
me, it did start off slowly, but I feel like it
Mm.
needed that in order to sort of find its pace the whole way through. I absolutely love that we got so many more perspectives
Yeah, I did
and
too. And I liked
and
that once we did our little timey wimey wibbly wobbly stuff with
yeah.
Zorik and Tinstra, that when Zorik got older, we had her perspective as well. I think that was
Yes.
a really nice added
100
touch.
yeah, yeah. And I do like the fact that he didn't linger, because obviously again, remind people we don't talk in the linear fashion. This happens near the end, near like mid to end of the book, when they do go into the whole like back in time situation,
Yeah.
and then there's like their time spans a longer
Mhm.
time than so like a year in that time was like a couple of days in that time. Um, like I'm glad that that wasn't dragged out. It was very quickly sort of like Zori is
Yeah, I
um
thought it was a
she's like
nice.
4 years old, she's 9 years old, she's 12, and she's 18. It didn't miss anything out, but it
Yeah,
just sort of sped that bit up, which I really enjoyed because my worry was that
yeah.
the whole book
Watching someone
would
grow
have
up
been
is like,
dragging
what,
that bit out.
yeah,
But I
watching
also
someone
like the fact
change
with
life.
this book that no POV did
Mhm.
I read and think, "Oh, I just wanna skip this POV, I wanna go back to somebody else's."
I did.
Everyone I really enjoyed, everybody's
No, I really
individual.
enjoyed everybody's, but the thing that frustrated me, and again, it's 100% a me thing. This is nothing to do with the author. It proves actually how well the author was writing. There were points where we would leave a point of view, and I would skip ahead. I wouldn't read much when I skipped ahead, But I would skip ahead to that next point of view just to see if it was like straight after. And then it'd be like, oh, I've got to get through all these other people to get back to where I want to be and find the answers that I want to have. And
Who
then
was
you
your favourite POV then?
between. But maybe it's also because like it's been a while since I've read physically, and I could skip, like when I'm listening like audibly, I cannot do that. But when the book is in my hands, I can just go, oh, when's the next point of view? And that's what I did. Quite a
I
few
love
times.
that Tunstall leveled up, became a total badass.
Yeah, I was so fed up of her by the end of the book.
I did, but we'll come to that. We'll come to this bit. We'll come back to this bit. Book 3 is nearly.
I know. I'm gonna have to start that like tomorrow. No, I can't start it tomorrow. I've got my copy of Brimstone that I need to read instead.
Timey-wimey, Francie mentions sending Chosen into the past. Those Chosen were surprised to see an older queen, but Francis seemed to know about the time dilation, then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that whole, I do love playing with time stuff. And one character I wasn't a fan of was Amara. The name. The mage. The mage is, I understand why she wouldn't want the whole, messing with time thing. But at the end of the day, they took that child against their will. She didn't want to do it back in time, and then basically told a 4-year-old, and
you can't have friends.
That you can't have friends. I'm sorry, and it like where the way that they blindly followed, what's his name? Asgard. That's it. They blindly followed him, even though they knew Asgard, even though they knew that like it wasn't. This girl had no free will at all, and it was like, well, he knows what he's doing, but clearly he doesn't because he got himself killed. So,
yeah, and I did like that. There was that hint of rebellion with Zorik when she was 18, and she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. You're asking me to go back to a country I've got no idea about. I don't remember anything of that time. And no one's going to know who I am. And then the minute that Wex, the lovely boy that she falls in love with, proposes to her, and then she's like, no, I can't. Like, I think Mike did such a fantastic job of like writing her in the sense of knowing that she wanted to stay where she was in this life that they had built, but also part of her knowing that this is what she had trained for her whole life, and she was there for a reason. And although she didn't want to have that purpose, it was the purpose that had been given to her. So she even when she was like, no, I don't want to do it, and she ran away with Wex,
and it wasn't fair, and she was
and he turns around and went, why don't we just get married? And she says no, and it's like, oh, clearly, like,
that was heartbreaking. Bless
it was heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's like, you do know, you have your priorities in an order, and it took her going through that to be in that headspace of, no, I'm leaving, and I don't want to go, but I have to.
And I do get her reaction as well, though, because she was frustrated, and she acted like the way that a teenager would. Like, it isn't fair that she's been trained and it isn't fair that she was taken away from her world, and she didn't grow up with any loyalty to that world other than what she was told she should be doing. And what I really liked as well is that although I wanted to punch Asgard, because when we find out that he just put the water in the food and drink of the queen, so that and created these kids. That bit I was like, I'd want to punch him in the face as well. So I don't blame Tinsta for giving him a wallet, but the fact that they didn't even think about her growing up in a different world and not wanting to go back and having that free will, they just assumed that Tinsta had to tell them that, like, what if she didn't want to go back? What are you gonna do? Force her? And they were like, oh, we didn't think about that, but Asgard knows what he's doing, and it was just that blind faith in him and his vision, but for no other reason, because he's not proven through his actions or anything that his plan would succeed.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think that's the problem. They went into it with the thought process of an adult, and an adult knows their duty and what they have to do, and that is definitely not how I was at 18. Like.
So yeah, it was very, very, very true to a teenager. The chosen, although you're older than I was expecting.
Yeah, she grew up quite a lot.
It didn't matter what powers the girls are growing into. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
She had grown up quite a lot, and I do appreciate that. And I do. Was there any? Which one of the POVs did you like the most?
Dren.
Dren. I love Dren. Dren isn't. And again, all these characters, although there is essentially a side of good and evil, kind of, you can see that people from each side can do bad things.
Yeah.
They're not. She's not just because she like Tincher's on the side of good, and Yaz essentially is on the side of good. They do some seriously fucking fucked up shit. Like they do some serious shit. Like and Dren acted childishly because he's still only 16 in book
16,
2.
yeah. I love how you're brought back into that in one of his points of view when he goes off to fight with the Hanran, and they turn around and they're like, "So how old are you?" And he goes, "I'm 16," and they're like, "Wow."
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a reminder that despite what this kid's been through, he has stepped up to the plate. He's like he's owned the shit that he's done wrong, and he's trying to fix it. And he's like from book 1 to book 2, the difference how I feel about that kid. I was just like, I just want to mother him and look after him, and he was just I just wanted it to turn out well for him, but I knew that it, and we knew that it wouldn't, did we?
Have we got confirmation that he got killed? Did he blow himself up?
No, I don't, we see. I'm hoping because we haven't had confirmation that he is dead. We know that because, and this is what is making me think that he's not dead. Because when he was going into that sort of like final battle situation where he was like going to sacrifice himself, it mentions that he no longer felt like his cough was there. It mentioned
or is that like almost final? You know when.
Yeah, we don't know whether it's adrenaline, like, of the situation that he's in, or whether or not, like, something had been done to him, because he was in and out of consciousness so much, that kid, poor lad. He got
he
the
was asleep for a lot of the book.
he got the crap kicked out of him quite a lot.
He got
almost near death quite a bit. So something could have been done to him. Like, I don't know. I don't think
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he may have been sort of swerving us a little bit by not giving us like the 2 days later, 3 months later. We didn't have a Dren chapter, but I think that might be a fake out. I'm hoping it is because I don't want Dren to be dead.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
I really noticed pointed words on treatment of refugees, sending home appeasement, death sentence, which everybody knows, including people demanding the removal of refugees, but most don't care. Yeah, there's a lot of you could read into that. There's a lot of social commentary on this and like the treatment of people and like yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, this felt very familiar. I had to check the publication date to reflect on the back then times and how it worsened. Oh, it's worse than that. It was a massive cocking before.
He wasn't a massive. He was just a 15-year-old that had his house blown up.
He was 15 years old. He was raised to think like the short.
Also, this book, despite the timey-wimey stuff, 2 weeks since not the prologue, but the start of book 1. 2 weeks.
Yeah. So all this shit has happened essentially in 2 weeks, and this kid has been dragged out from. Fair enough, he didn't have the best life, but
He's lost teeth. He's been shot with arrows.
He's killed his cousin.
He's now dying from bomb sickness. He's been blown up. He has been
shot with arrows.
His first love.
And good old
Ange. Friends die. He's watched his friends strung up. I will say again, with the not sticking with the chronological. Is that
chronological?
Right? Yeah, There is a G in there. Oh well. I love a chronological. Anyway. Yaz is like, hey, weeping man now. Weeping woman.
Weeping. Oh my god! Like from the start, obviously the start of the book, she's like actively working against the Weeping Men because she wants to save that girl. To, at the end of the book, killing their leader, and they're like, "Do you know what? We've lost a bunch of men. We've lost our leader. You killed our leader, therefore you are leader."
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And it's like she's like, "Oh shit!" And again, within such a short space of time, she's gone from being a mother, just a mother. She lost her husband.
Just a
Just
mother.
sorry, not just a mother. She's gone from being like a stay-at-home mum to losing her husband, having to work for this girl.
Yeah, in the council house.
To try and make ends meet.
Yeah.
Then killing the friends that she worked with, and then not knowing what the hell she was doing, getting mixed up with the Hanran. Now she's the leader of the Weeping Men.
Yes, she is.
I mean, I was gonna say you could write that shit, but he did. He literally just did.
I literally sat and wrote that story. Yeah, we've just read it actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Also, we don't know where her mother is. Could be dead. Could be.
I don't like the mother anyway. Her mother got ridiculous.
Like, I know that was kind of the point of her, was to be horrible, but
it's like she had no understanding of the situation Yaz was in, even though Yaz tried to explain the situation that she was put in. She didn't want to work for the scholars. She was very adamant from the beginning she didn't want to do it. It was the mum that was like, "You need to get some food on your kid's table," and da-da-da. So she did that, but that wasn't good enough. But then the fact that she ratted her out, that I was like, I was literally screaming at myself, like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up!"
And she was telling Rena, like, "Oh,
yeah, telling Rena that she
when they blew up the council house." I was like, "Well, this is coming to bite you in the ass."
And then she tells Rena that she fucking poisoned her sister, and I was like, "Oh my god, are you actually serious? You're gonna keep your daughter killed?"
Don't feel like her mother liked her very much. Like,
no,
got that impression. Like,
I'm just like,
to the point where it almost made me think, like, is like I know everyone has their own relationship with their mum, but is she actually? It gave more like mother-in-law energy to me than like actual mother.
Yeah, but I just it was really baffling. Just like on the one hand, she was dragged into it. She was literally held and told that she needed to do this or her son was gonna die. So she did it, and her mum was still like blaming her for that. And I'm like, "Are you serious? Would you rather have just said, right, okay, you can kill my mum and my son. That's fine. I won't help you." Like nothing she did. Like she did have a moral compass. She does something she stepped in to help with because she knew that it was wrong. But you can't blame her for that. But for a lot of it, she was just thrown into that.
Yeah.
She didn't want to get involved in the first place, and the only reason she did it, she was literally a family were held at ransom for it.
Her family gets held at ransom quite a lot, I will say. Like, for someone who is very much aware of her surroundings, her kid goes missing a lot.
I know. Like, poor soul. He's only 2. He's only fucking 2. I'm like, oh my god.
He doesn't move, like, clearly move.
Hello. Jen sounded, oh god. Jen sounded proper dead to me. I assumed he was out either from the boom or the thickness. I don't know. There's a part of me.
You're holding on to hope that you shouldn't necessarily have.
Yeah, I know, because once again, Mike is very much showing himself as to be the kind of author that will kill off a character. And even though we met this new guy with Castian,
yeah,
and we're like, oh yeah, like he might stick around for a bit. Nope, just nope. Just
pretty standard, to be fair.
I was surprised to find out that she didn't have to kill Hassan. I thought she was gonna.
No.
I thought she was gonna.
No. I spoiled myself anyways when I was doing my send up, like, oh, when do we come back to this point of view? But also, I just, it was a bit like, no, I don't think so, because in the grand scheme of things, yes, she wanted her son back, but she also knew that the Hanran were like the only real option for saving Kyojin, and well, they did a very good job. But anyways, also I like how at the end of the book, and again jumping all over the place, but at the end of the book, they're like, yeah, and this is how I was like, oh, it must be, it's all nicely finished and boxed up and lovely. And then they turn around, and they're like, what's that black blur in the sky? It's just like a freaking herd of Juku or whatever. Them things.
Swarm of Jakku.
Jakku. I should know that. I have listened to it, but I apparently haven't retained. I did like the narrator for this audiobook. I did find it quite funny.
She was good.
That the chosen languages are like, oh yeah, Kaihuzan are English. The ones that have sequestered themselves are French and they don't want to fight.
Yeah.
And the ones that are attacking everybody are German.
They sound pretty German though.
Interesting choice of direction.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I mean, not being funny, there are only so many accents you can do. But I just find it fun. Like, obviously, I find the sound of a German accent on English words is a very harsh sounding accent. So maybe that. But I think I would have cried if they'd have just come over and they were just like Australian, like, g'day, mate. we're here to kill your country. Back off.
I don't think he got his end away with Angie. They kissed before they parted ways.
They had a very hot and heavy kissing session. That was it.
Yeah, they had a hot and heavy kissing session before he started choking his guts up, and then they had like one final kiss farewell when he went off to battle.
I'm going to do what I should have done days ago.
Yeah, when he makes out like I'm gonna go do what I should have done ages ago. I'm like, it's been 2 weeks, friend. Like,
well, he clearly should have just, somehow killed the Tonin when they were, running to take over Kaiozen. But instead he just runs away. Also, Metion, no.
Oh, Matin, yeah.
Matin.
Matin.
Just don't know. I like the conflict that you see within him quite a lot.
Yeah.
In the sense of like
he's very, very pious at first, wanting he very much like, Cage is God, I'll wear my mask.
But he even is by the end. Like, he sits there and there's a line in his final chapter where he's talking to Torin, and Torin's there blaspheming against their god, and he's just like, I sit there and I listen to the blasphemy, but I don't say anything. It's like, okay.
The thing is though, like, the fact that again, you can't hate on that kid too much. Sorry, you can't hate on that kid too much because that's how he was brought up. He was brought up to worship Cage, to you take the pain for Cage, and the God,
everyone should just really leave everyone alone. Like, I feel like that's a message that is throughout this. Like, if you want to worship Cage, crack on and cause yourself pain, fine. If you want to worship 4 gods instead of 1, crack on, you do that. Everyone stay in your bubble and just
don't force your shit on me.
If you want to go and murder yourself in a lake, which can't be good for anybody at this point, if they do it every morning, there's got to be a lot of things in that lake you would have thought. So does that mean when they're walking, these are the thoughts that trouble me, you're walking into the lake to make this sacrifice of yourself, and you're standing on Steve from last week. Right, mate.
Steve from last week. Fucking hell.
I'm coming to join you in the great darkness.
Are you sending someone else to the great darkness for Cage?
again, the religious aspects in this book are really well written. I think they're
Yeah,
actually
they
pretty
were.
good. To be fair, I was pretty impressed
Yeah.
with like the rules and how everyone is faith wise. I just to come up with a religion where, or like to devise your rules, because I am not a big religion buff. I do not know every single one that is out there. Never claimed to. But to have, there's got to be obviously some inspiration for what Cage and the Great Darkness is from somewhere.
Yeah.
But just to have a religion where your whole world revolves around like you've got this family bond, your family unit, you wear your mask, you can't not wear your mask. You have to wear your mask outside, like you can only take it off in front of family.
Yeah.
You cause yourself pain
For
to prove
him.
your
Yeah.
loyalty, like I
Yeah.
give my blood to you, I give my body to you.
Yeah.
And then there are those that are truly devout that literally just know that they're gonna go and stand in a lake and commit suicide, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, like it's pretty strong stuff.
But like Francine, but he shape shifted into the
Yeah.
what he believed to be the enemy and
Yeah.
put himself through that pain to the point where every shift caused him so much pain. He had to didn't
Bite down on his little
bite
lumps.
down
Yeah.
on his like like that kind of even though I'm not religious, like the fact that some of these people believed so much they would literally do anything.
Mm.
It was it wasn't overdone either.
Yeah.
Like you got people that are, like, really devout, then you've got like like I said for Matty, and he was devout growing. It was what he wanted to go off and be a warrior,
Yeah.
and then when he got to where he wanted to be, he was like, actually, this is not what I was led
Yeah,
to
so they
believe.
literally rock up and they're like, "We're meant to have 6 months more training before we go out in the field."
Yeah, it was basically shoved into real life. But then not only that, it was not given the training that he needed, but to be around these worn down soldiers that were just literally they were there because they were there, not they didn't all
Yeah.
believe in Cage and hearing all the blasphemous things they were saying and none of them were wearing masks and the sense of like the rose tinted glasses have come off.
Yeah.
But then after that, he then started having a crisis of faith of his own. And then when he let Dren not he didn't purposefully let Dren go, he took his eyes off him for 1 minute, but he had a moment of hesitation.
Mhm.
He had that moment of hesitation, then he was like when it came down to it, when they were being attacked,
Mhm.
he ran off. Like,
Yeah, and threw his armor as he went because he didn't deserve it. I was like,
yeah,
"What?"
it's he sort of ran off and he's not been questioning himself, but he
Mhm.
still sort of feels that because he's running off, he's not worthy. So you've got like both sides of it. It's like he's started to doubt, but he
Mhm.
wants to believe because obviously
Yeah.
that's all he's ever believed. And
Mhm.
as much as I hate what they were doing to people, I can't hate him as a person. You can't blame him really. He's he's,
Mhm.
he's still a kid, isn't he? It's just what he's been brought up in,
Yeah.
and he was just
Yeah, I can't. Oh, I can't imagine his
if he
mother.
went against anyone, he just got fucking hit, didn't he? he just got beaten by
Yeah.
his so-called friends, like so-called family that they said that he was.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but it was mad. I was not anticipating the Tanner Wimey stuff. I just imagined time would pass by, then they'd return, a bit like what happened between the. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad of the Tanner Wimey stuff though, and I'm glad that we sort of got a little bit of their life in back back in day.
Back in
Um,
the day.
back in day. But I am curious to find out
Mm.
how it's gonna play out because Asgard wasn't supposed to meet them, and obviously, I want to know how that will. It was so they spent so long saying this will affect the future, this will affect the future. So obviously, she was involved with Lex, and they've had this long friendship that she wouldn't have had before because obviously they weren't there before. So she's gone back and affected that timeline.
Yeah.
This is
You
gonna
could
happen.
have
And
dealt with.
also,
Well, I wonder if she hasn't. She's just delayed when he got with his wife.
But that still affected the timeline, innit? Our timeline, innit? It's like it's not preventing something from happening, but it's delaying something which could have an impact on something else. But then also,
This is the
actually,
problem with timey-wimey stuff. It gets confusing.
but then
I understand.
Asgard came back with her.
I know.
So old Asgard died. So the Asgard from the past wouldn't be in the past anymore. He's in the present. Well, what their present is.
Yeah, but he's still alive, so until he dies, that's when it could bugger up everything, and then I don't really understand how Zorak would get out of the castle without him. And then we get into needing the whiteboard and
Metal.
you know, what's his face out of Back to the Future has got the almanac and he's got all this money, and how we got into 3 different time periods in 3 movies.
Referring back to the refugee culture, we also got treated to that famous formation train that immediately. I was just asking questions. Yeah, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Keep your questions here.
Yeah.
Yas was badass too. Yes, she was. Sometimes we got the early character trait heavily reinforced. It's just cowardice. Yas not getting involved. Jen's fucking. All 3 came. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yes,
Although
not getting involved quite early on, I'm not gonna lie. It got to a point where she was just like, "Oh well, I'm just gonna muddle with everything."
it's truth. I would have been hacked off with Dren if he was coughing away, revealing my position, and Jack was fast there on that mission. She didn't mean to knock him out though.
Pretty much could have killed him. She stopped
could've-
him.
See, I thought the whole thing was gonna be she was gonna kill him because she didn't realize she was just trying to stop him from coughing. And then it was like, and then everything went black, and I'm like, oh fuck, you've killed the guy that you've fallen for. Like, did you? But then it was like, oh no, it came round and whatever. But I don't know. In my mind, in my positive, like hopeful mind, that somehow he did get over the sickness that literally nobody else has ever got over before.
Well, he wasn't pooping his pants much to my knowledge, so if you didn't have it as bad as everyone else.
But I need to know how Asgard coming into the future has affected everything else.
Read the next
So,
page.
I know. I'm just saying, like, are we actually going to get an explanation for that? Because it could have just. I don't know. I'm hoping we do, but also, like, could that be the reason why Dren woke up and then felt okay? Because I've got to come into the future.
I don't know.
And effectively change the way that shit went down. But I think coming to near the end of the book, although I understand Kinshka, like I do like her. I do like her arc. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that we didn't stay with that. Oh my god, I'm a coward. I'm scared, and I shouldn't be doing this too long because I would have yeeted my. I wouldn't have yeeted my.
Yeah.
But I just she really was grating on me. But like I think she took it a little bit too far, abducting Asgard. just
You're coming with me.
the fact that, like I understand her like thought process behind like she'd gone from literally having nobody to being the carer for this girl. So I understand the instinct that she wanted to get the water so she could try and sort of.
I never really understood the water thing because they literally said to her like, "You have no magic, so it will not do anything good for you," and she still went that.
They said it might not,
but I'm gonna drink that, and I'm like, why?
because to be fair, because her relationship with that, I'm forgetting it, Amanda, whatever her name is, she was not. They weren't forthcoming. They kept things from her. They weren't being completely honest from the start. So she's not going to believe anything they say, are they? And they said that although she doesn't have a lick of well, they claimed that she didn't have a lick of magic in her, but they couldn't guarantee what effect it would have on her. And they said if you drink too much too fast, it can have a really bad effect on you. Not that if you drink it at all. So they weren't really clear in the instructions or of what they were
Don't
given.
touch. They were pretty clear. Leave alone. Nothing to do with you. And she still went, I'm just asking questions. No, you're not. Get your nose out of it. Get out.
Yeah, but I get that. I do
No,
get
you're not.
that keeping. I do get it. I do.
This is the same
But
time.
also,
We're on different pages. This is the same argument that we had about the mother in freaking Lie.
but I'm just saying. I am just saying. Like, oh, but I'm on the side of good this time. I was on the side of like she's a bitch before, whereas I can understand that she doesn't know these people. These people dragged her
He
back in
doesn't know
time.
the 4-year-old.
But you
He
wouldn't
knew the
leave a
4-year-old
4
for 5 days. 5 days.
but you wouldn't leave a 4 like you
He
wouldn't.
didn't leave it. She was still right there.
But
Still
you
right there.
no. You would do
Yes.
anything possible to protect her. You would. You would. And
She was
like
protected. She was in a secret base of timey-wiminess.
yeah, but think about it from Tinsh's point of view. These people have lied to her as soon as they met her. Asgard lied to her. Asgard lied to her. They lied about what exactly they said they were taking her somewhere. They didn't say they were taking her back in fucking time. So they just totally just thrown out the rest of it. Like they said they were going to take her somewhere safe. So they haven't
They
been
did. They
completely.
didn't lie about that.
They haven't been completely honest with her. So if
Mhm.
put yourself in her shoes, you've been lied to by a maid, um, like it was supposed to be protecting you and this little girl, and then you were lied to by the people that were blindly following this guy who clearly had no clue what the fuck he was doing and got himself killed. And then you're told by the same people that have also been lying to you or but not being completely honest with you, not necessarily openly lying, but not telling you the whole truth, saying you can't touch that water because although the mage that is maging is drinking the water. Like
Because
you
it's
can't
magical water. She's
but they
not
didn't
magical.
they didn't they said that
She's
no.
not even Shulker. Realistically,
Well, she is. She's earned those stripes, I
not.
think.
She's not. Because she didn't do the testy thing. So
She's earned those stripes. She's fought some battles. She has earned those Shulker stripes. Not the
she
Shulker give out
winked the
stripes.
whole time. Whole time.
And then
She was not my favourite point of view. Don't know if you can tell.
the thing I don't agree with
All of it.
is when she was like when she messed with the timey-wimey stuff. Because I personally would never touch the timey-wimey stuff. So I get wanting Zorin to have a friend. That bit I could kind of been like, all right, okay, that's fine, whatever. She needed a friend. She needed some socialization. If she hadn't have got that, she would have grown up to be like a little solitary little feral mouse, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I get it, but I don't like the fact that she was like she was fucking with Asgard and like she sort of pushed that a bit too far, and then she just decided to like tie him up and take him back to the future because that could literally just fuck everything up and totally undo the last. Well, it's 18. Well, what is it? 14 years will have been there because yeah. So they could have undone the 14 years of work that they've done because she took Asgard off the path that he was already on.
Yeah. And if she didn't get the freaking water, she wouldn't be able. She wouldn't have all these headaches around everybody all the time.
That I don't know if that's really affected the story all that much though. Other than the fact that
feelings, you can't turn around to me and say, well, "You've got to protect the 4-year-old" when you've now essentially made yourself hyperallergic to the 4-year-old. Well, she's not 4 anymore, but you know what I mean.
She didn't realize that that's what she was gonna do. Like I said, if
don't touch.
if I've lied to you, or not been completely honest with you, and hid things from you, and then told you don't do this just because I say so, you wouldn't trust me. You'd be like, fuck you. You'd go do it anyway. You would. You think
I'm not drinking nothing that I don't understand what it is. That sounds stupid because it is stupid.
Well, I'm just stupid.
I disagree greatly. I disagree, and it's got nothing to do with the being told because I don't listen to people telling me to do stuff. However, it's more to do with the fact that you don't know what the outcome's going to be. Don't touch it. It's the same way when you see people digging stuff up and they're like, "Oh, I found a bone," or "I found it." No, put it back. What are you doing? Put it back. You don't know what's attached to that. Put it back.
When you think about it, though, he said, no, the maid said, don't do anything because you don't know what he's going to do to you, whatever. However, he, as it was, what in Tinsha's head, he fed it to the queen and her little baby that was growing inside her, not knowing what it was going to do to them. And it gave the kid magic. It gave the two kids magic, although one died. But she didn't know how it was going to affect the queen. The queen could have died. But you know what I mean? So
We
you
have
can't.
come to a point to prove that As really didn't care about anything apart from getting magical children. Now, he may not have known exactly what was going to happen, but he had a pretty good hunch that that would make them magical, right? Didn't need the queen, just needed her to give birth to said children. That's literally it.
Nothing
That is
happened to the queen though. The queen didn't get ill or whatever, did she? So in Tinsha's
maybe
mind,
it's hormones. Maybe that's the problem.
I'm
Who
right,
knows?
you're wrong.
Pregnancy does all sorts of crazy stuff to you. I do not understand because I've never been in that position. But I hear it like the fact that it can cure, not cure, but it can make your allergies and intolerances go away. That's crazy stuff.
It's actually crazy.
That is
I'm
crazy. But also, if this queen is like a descendant of a descendant of a descendant of somebody magical, then she's just like potentially genetically built for this crap.
They said they didn't say for 100% certainty, surety, like on God's honor, that she wasn't magical at all. They said they didn't think she was. So Tisha didn't know that she was going to give herself headaches, did she?
She
It was
was
over.
stupid. Don't touch.
She was trying to make herself better for the world.
No, she was trying to make herself better in general. It was a purely selfish move.
Do
She
you
was
not like Tisha? Is that what you're saying?
probably, yeah.
You just don't like her, do you? So if it had been someone you like, you'd have been fine with it. All right.
No, because John didn't drink the magic water. He was 16.
Dren didn't.
He was dying. He probably could have used the magic water.
He didn't know about the magic water, though, did he?
Probably not.
No, he didn't. Because he's never met Asgard.
Out of it, he drank it.
Yeah. Maybe he should. Maybe he should have met Asgard, and he should have drank the funny water, because then he wouldn't have been dead. Well, we think he's dead, but he might not be dead. I'm hoping he's not dead, but he might be dead. That have been blown up or died of bomb poisoning. But either way, he wouldn't have died of bomb poisoning if he'd taken the water.
Don't touch things you don't know. Put them back.
Unless you think it might save you, then do it.
No.
I'm very much looking forward to finding out what happens to Asgard the Younger in the future. Yes, me too. That's a fun setup, given the size of
Funny is
the
the wrong word. It's not gonna
It
be
is. I think it's gonna be fun because it's gonna.
fun.
It
He's
might
gonna
prime my brain.
people are gonna die. Like they're not all gonna walk out of this. This book is 800 pages long. They are going through
You're all gonna die.
very painfully.
I'm glad that they didn't kill the son though, because if they'd have killed off the 2-year-old, I'd have been like, I'd have noped out. I would have noped out.
There is still time for Ro to die. He might not be 2, but still
If he
time.
dies when he's older, that's fine. I'm joking. I'm joking.
But when he's 4, yeah, what do you do? Live a long, happy life.
I've never done any drugs, not drunk the wine, nor drunk the wine, so I do not think I would touch the magic water. I would. Maybe once. If the third book up, if the third book opens and no time passing, then we'll probably get to see if Dren dies for a third time very soon. But the thing is, if you have a physical book, you could skip. Although I could look at the chapter headings. I'm not gonna.
On Spotify it just says track 1, track 2, track 3.
Oh, I've got it on Audible because I know I want to reread these and I do want to get them physically. I've just spent ages trying to unhaul a bunch of books and I've got rid of the Gen Lion 6 series.
Our
I have
first
to get,
series. Wow.
I know.
Just
Because if I
found
reread them,
yourself. All those memories just.
well, I haven't got rid of them yet. I've scanned them, put them in a box, ready to go to sell your books, whatever it is. I'm still undecided on whether I want to keep them or send them away. But I feel like if I reread them, I would audiobook them.
I
So,
have them all on audio.
um, but
I think I
yeah,
need to read them physically to actually understand what the hell went on in that series.
and if I was gonna get a set of books to annotate, which if I reread them and I had a physical copy, I'd want to annotate. I wouldn't want to annotate a hardback, so
Mm.
I'd want to annotate paperbacks. If I was to repurchase them, I would repurchase them in paperback. I don't know what it is about my brain that won't let me annotate a hardback, but I can't do that. But I've spent so much time recently on hauling books that I've been quite brutal, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy 3 books in a series that gradually get bigger, just to fill up the space that those 5 books leave.
I still need to sort out my
technically,
shelves.
technically, I have 2 books less than I did before. Like size wise, they might not be that much different because of the size of book 3, but the amount of books I've got are actually deducted by 2.
Fair
So
enough.
that's good enough for me. I have to pay it back, but I'm not gonna look ahead. My working assumption was that he went out in a boom of in a boom of glory.
I might spoil myself. Who knows?
I have the audiobooks. I was gonna say audiobooks physically. That's not a thing. I've got the credit
I
from
have the tapes in my cassette player.
yeah. Do you know what? They used to do audiobooks on CD, didn't they?
They used to do audiobooks on tape. I had The Bed and Breakfast Star by Jacqueline Wilson on tape.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So I have the books from Audible because I will reread it and I wanted the
I was
audiobooks.
running out of time and I knew this was happening and I didn't read when I should have read this weekend. So I kicked Jack off his Spotify account and listened to it because he is in charge of our family account. So until he has just updated the account, he was the one that got the 15 hours audio credit on Spotify. So I've used the last one on this book.
Well, I've been like totally in the depths of watching Critical Role to a point where like I went looking online for like um I don't know what I'm looking for. I've signed up to their Beacon membership. You just kind of like a patron where you get early access to the most recent campaign. And I think because I've been looking at so much D&D stuff, I was scrolling through Instagram earlier and my phone knows what I'm doing. There was a D&D in a castle. So like you can go away for like a
Yeah.
4-day retreat, play D&D for 4 days. And I was like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. Looked at the price, £3,000. I'm not paying that just to put it out there into the universe. I do not have that money, and I will not be paying that. If I had the money, I would. Because you get 4 full days in a castle. You get to stay in
Yeah.
the castle. You get all the workshops, all the D&D sessions with like some really cool, apparently like renowned D&D DMs, and you get like it's like you get fully fed, like
Yeah.
it's all inclusive thing. So I get the price. I'm not dissing the price. When I saw the price, my mouth dropped to the floor. I was like, shit.
Oh, I wonder if they've got like a basic version. Like you
I was
only
looking
use
for
all
that.
inclusives and everyone's got different coloured wristbands on.
I was hoping they had a basic version, and I was like, no.
I will
It
sleep in
starts.
tables, sir.
Well, it's in dollars. It starts at $3,200, and the different packages go up in price. I was like, oh
God,
no.
no.
My first audiobook was an Alistair McQueen set on cassette tape.
There you go.
I will say the narrator for this, she is great. I can't remember her name right now. I'll have a look for
It is
Audible.
great. I did enjoy that, and I did enjoy the writing.
She she is
I
so good. She does the accent so well,
What her
and
French accent is. Très bien.
like yeah, and because sometimes when narrators do accents, for
Oh,
me, if you're gonna narrate a book, like you need to be able to do the accents of the characters. If you can't do an accent, just don't do it. Don't
Mm.
attempt it and fail it because it can ruin an experience. But she is really good. I'm trying to find the name. Nicola Bryant. I'm gonna have a look at. Oh, she narrates some Doctor Who stuff,
See,
predominantly Doctor Who
timey-wimey
stuff.
stuff.
Timey wimey, a lot of Doctor Who stuff that she does. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, she's such a good narrator. She does the accents really well.
Mm.
And she doesn't just read what's on the page.
Yeah.
You feel the emotions of all the characters, whether that's anger, frustration, sadness, whatever. Like, there's not been many happy times, so I can't vouch for that emotion. But
Really one happy time, if I'm honest.
it's just been constantly just like, but
Yeah, non-stop. Non-stop.
everybody died.
Who's dying?
Question,
Answer.
question for thee before we wrap up. Do you have any thoughts, feelings, or ponderances, theories of what's going to happen in book 3? Theories. Do you have any theories of hope?
Oh. Like, I'm waiting for Raku to make a fucking appearance that isn't just.
Oh, he's got to do that. Yeah, he's got to make an appearance in book 3. You can't talk about this like godly, demony person and him not appear. He'll appear in book 3. I know that.
Genuinely think, surely the only way to end this is to kill him and prove to everybody that he's just a person and not a god, and then they'll be like, ah, shit. Well, now we don't have to hurt ourselves in prayer anymore. And then they can all become happy and friendly, and they can all worship whoever the hell they want to hurt. Not hurt, don't hurt anyone. They can all worship whoever the hell they want to worship and just do it on their own. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
You know, like, stop, let the toning outside to see the sun. Stop shackling them.
Let them out. Like, that will save everything. Just let them turn it out.
Well, the fact that it's mentioned in the book as well, like, they're shackled so that they don't even think about running through their own gates. Let them. Like, it sounds like they've got it pretty rough all by themselves. Like, you don't need to make it worse by making them anemic. Just let them out, let them see the sun.
Let them frivolously frolic through their own gates.
I didn't really understand until the very end that it seems as though they also eat people. Like, why does everything eat people in this world? Why?
Apparently, they taste like
Like,
chicken.
everything that comes from Kyrgyzstan, also interesting choice of name. Can we just? But everything that, like, every creature that comes from here seems to eat people. But they don't eat their own people. They eat giants. And every time I heard that on the audiobook, and this is not the narrator's fault, it's because I sped it up and my brain is slow, I thought they said giants. I was like, where have these come from? Because I started listening to the audiobook halfway through the book, and I was like, there are no giants in the book. Where have these come from? And then I realised that they were saying giants with no T's. And with a J instead of a G. The English language.
Fun time. I think so. I'm going to tell you my hope first, and then what I think is.
You don't want Dren to be dead. That is your hope.
I definitely don't want Dren to be dead because he's had a good fucking character development, and if Mr. Mike Shackle has killed off Dren for good, and he's actually dead, like dead, then I'm having words with Mr. Mike Shackle and asking him, why would you give a character such a great fucking character arc just to swipe him off at the last hurdle? Well, not the last hurdle, it's the last hurdle of book 2. But still, why would you do that? So my hope is that Dren is alive. My hope is that they do end up beating the big bad, I want Yaz to just be the biggest, baddest, fucking badass of a weeping woman, and just turn everything on its head and
Stab, stab.
get the get the weeping men to actually repent. The
What?
fact that it was like
All three of them.
all three of them to actually like. I loved how at the end she was just like, "You're gonna tell, you'll listen to what I'm saying, like help these people." Like
It's just the way she was like, "How many of you are there?" And they were like, 3. Oh, you know that's
the
scary.
leader of a group of three, so they can turn their lives around. Maybe if they get killed off, it don't really matter. But we want Yaz to
Mm.
stay. I want her to just like be like turn into like this leader
Mm.
and just like own what she is, because clearly she's been through some shit. She's saved people, and she needs to just stop thinking of herself in such a small way and realize that she's worthy of just like,
Yeah.
she can't just be a
No
meek
one,
child.
yeah, no one went through it as much as Jax did. He went,
We hadn't even spoke about Jax.
he
Oh
went
my
a little
god,
too
that
low,
poor
didn't
sod.
he? Like, fair play. I genuinely think the way that Mike wrote his like PTSD.
That literally ripped my heart out every single time he got his POV because,
And he killed
like,
people because of it. He was like, "He's coming,
I
monster
know, like,
coming."
he I don't even wanna think about what Mike's headspace, like, was like writing that, because that is some savage fucking shit. Like,
Yes.
it wasn't
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
way that he writes it, like, there's consequences for your actions, and things really aren't glossed over. Jack
Yeah.
went through a very bless you,
Thank you.
traumatizing experience. He was tortured,
His
like,
arms cut off
yeah,
and regrown and cut off and regrown.
yeah.
Then he was left with the arm. And the fact that it's not funny because it is actually very traumatic, but just being in that headspace of like, the evil is in my arm. I must cut it off.
I really thought they were like somebody was gonna get again. I should have, after reading book one and most of book two at this point, I should have realized that that's not Mike's MO. He doesn't just stop things partway through. Things
No.
don't just magically correct themselves. Like, I didn't think that people were actually gonna get poisoned. They actually got poisoned. So I should have known that he was actually gonna start cutting his fucking arm off. But I didn't. I didn't know that. And I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like describing the way that it was. I was like, and then it hit the button. I was like, "What?"
And then I will say this book made me feel a lot more queasy than the first one did.
Yeah, 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 100%.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go into like massive descriptors, but again, because I envision things in my head when they happen, I saw him in my mind's eye, in my eyeballs. That I saw him cutting his arm off, and when they were cauterizing Dren's wound, I was like, "Oh no,
Mhm.
no,
Yeah.
please stop!" But yeah,
The
it
smell
was.
was terrible. No shit.
Oh, and literally when Martin had to pick up that corpse that had
Literally. And then he was like,
literally.
"That's when you get the legs, because the last thing is that the body evacuates its bowels." I was like,
Yeah, yeah, like,
You
it
ain't
was
catching
very
no one's butt in that position.
it was very realistic of what you would expect people to be like. He didn't shy away from like
Yeah,
the really, really harsh realities of like going through trauma, and then he saw his son die. He was supposed to die with his son because that's what they were supposed to end their own lives, so they didn't get caught and they didn't get tortured. But
yeah,
then he failed. He
yeah,
then
yeah.
got tortured. He got in his head literally, didn't he?
Mm,
But for a while, I genuinely thought that he actually did get in his head. Do you know what I mean? Like, magically, he
mm.
was in his head.
Part of
Like,
me was hoping that after he cut his arm off, he'd be not magically cured. That's not how that works. But I don't know, a little bit more back to him. And it did break my heart when he was like running around the battlefield trying to get people to kill him.
oh no, no, that was
Literally like Bruce
awful.
Almighty with this smoke me, but not as obviously comedic. It was a lot more serious.
That was that was awful, and the fact that the people that have looked up to him, the people that probably joined
Yeah,
around because of him, we're just like watching him literally lose his mind and
And then
like
he killed 2 people who were just guarding him and looking after him.
and they were just wanting him again. I was really hoping that somebody would walk in at the last minute and wouldn't actually kill anybody, and they would like grab him and pin him down and be like, "Jack, snap out of it!" So, but no, 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 no. The two kids basically, because they
Mm.
were only young men. The two kids in fact who were like guarding him, just wanted to help him and get him better, were like just slaughtered by him, and then him realizing after the fact,
Yep.
oh god, one thing after another was just like, oh, Jack.
Have
He's,
we had a confirmation about him? Did he die in the end?
I don't
And
think he did die.
no, because he got
I
pulled out
think
of his
he's
cell.
dead. Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
think he's dead, but I don't think he is. Unless I'm
You
missing
don't
it.
think
I
anyone's
don't. No, but I remember them saying, "Oh, Jax is dead," and then we had a Jax chapter. I was like, "No, he's not dead."
dead? Oh yeah, but that was because he got taken to Kyrgyzstan.
I think he won't survive book 3. I don't think. I think if Mike was gonna make him survive book 3, he's seriously gonna torture the guy. He's been through enough, Mike. Just let him die. Let him pass on the way he wants to.
Go.
He couldn't even die like a soldier, like he wanted to. Like
Yeah,
so,
pretty
yeah,
much.
like, oh no, we're not gonna let you die. We're gonna take it. Can I just stand instead? Okay, just stand. We're not
Maybe
gonna.
he'll come back into book 3. I will say I am really intrigued to carry on with this series and read book 3, which is good, especially because, like I said already, the books just get bigger as they go, which I don't feel as though is necessarily the standard trajectory for a trilogy. It seems as though they either stay, you've got like your first book, which is, I don't know, one length, and you get bigger in book 2 and then you get smaller again, or you start off with your chunkiest book first and then the word count slowly decreases over the next 2 books.
I am surprised because obviously I don't have any of these physically, so I didn't actually know how big any of these books were.
Book 1, 2, book 3.
I
have them on my shelves and I'm like,
3 is a girthy motherfucker.
it's chunky.
It's donkey, but I don't mind a bigger one. I don't mind a chunky book.
I don't mind a chunky book, but
Big
we're
book.
currently penciled in our next live show for just under 3 weeks' time.
That is bad. That is bad.
And I go away on the 28th for 5 days for work. And that is already my dedicated Empire of the Damned, Empire of the Dawn time. And I'm going to make all the men scared of me because I potentially could get emotional on sight. Probably not because I haven't got emotions, but there is a chance.
I will say though that this has really got me back into the like. I got me a thirst for reading because looking at this, the last thing that I finished before this,
yeah,
was God, oh my god, it was October 21st, which was Days of Blood and Starlight, is the last thing that I actually finished.
fair enough. I haven't
So
yet.
Nope. So yeah.
That yet.
Actually, no, I'm lying to you.
How much Mike has a habit of putting the title into the book because he said a fool's hope many times in this book.
I love it when authors do that.
But he
I'm lying to you. The last book I finished was the 11th of November, so it's not that long ago. But they have all been like a really quick manga, a quick contemporary, and the other one was like in Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which were like really cute and cozy books. This is the first actual dark fantasy type book that I've read for a while. Everything prior to this, other than the series, has just been like life with contemporary romance or romantic fantasy.
I have been on my what they called romantasy kick.
Fantasy romance. Don't call it the R word. I hate that word.
Romantasy.
Yeah.
Well,
But
no, I do genuinely believe. I saw someone say, and this has nothing to do with this live stream at all, because Mike Shackle does not write romantasy. I do
clearly.
strongly stand by the thought process that I saw someone else do, and the name escapes me of who I saw it, and it definitely wasn't my brain that came up with this. If a book is fantasy with a romantic subplot, I feel as though that is a fantasy romance, right? But if the main point is romance first, rest of it second, like in my eyes, more of a character driven plot than a whole world point plot, then it's romantasy, because the whole point is like there's romance and a bit of fantasy rather than fantasy, bit of romance.
That's fair. They are just shy of 560 pages respectively. Mike Shackle.
They are big books.
3 weeks today. I will have to get started probably in December the 8th. Yes. Yeah. I
Amazing.
could read 800 pages in a day, but the reason why I only finished it today is because Critical Role. So I blame Dungeons and Dragons. I
I
love
genuinely would have to not eat, sleep, or wee if I was going to read that many pages in a day. That's not going to happen. Not going to lie. I quite like getting
the title in the
distracted.
book. This cropped up very early. Yeah, I do love it. A lot of my favorite authors do it, and I'm really looking forward to finishing this series and
Me
seeing what else
too.
Mike decides to come out with, because he's definitely an author that I will, unless he really royally fucks up book 3, which based on what we've read so far, I don't think he will. Then I
No,
definitely will pick
I
things
don't
up
think
from
he
him
will. I
again.
don't think he can. Like, I genuinely do not think he can.
And I've heard nothing but good things about this series before we picked it up. So, from people that we both probably trust like reviews of.
That's true.
So many people loved it.
Benny loved
And
it. That's why I know about it.
kind of make me a little bit gutted that I didn't get the Broken Binder special editions. But then again, I wouldn't be able to annotate them if I ever wanted to go back and reread and annotate. I'll just get paperback.
I've got to be honest. I am trying to slow down on the whole like special edition thing. It's kind of going well.
Kind of.
Kind of. Well, right. Again, this has nothing to do with this conversation, but Quicksilver came out with the shiny foiled edges.
Oh, no.
Right. We went into Blackwell's yesterday before going to meet the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. J. Kristoff. And I saw Brimstone, and Jack went, "Oh, that's a really nice edition. It's also orange. Are you going to buy it?" And I went, "No, because I know for a fact the first one with the shiny foiled silver edges is sold out online. I'm not going to be able to get that because they won't match." Okay. Wandered over to the new fiction shelf in Blackwell's, where all the fantasy were. What is in the middle of the shelf? The silver foiled Quicksilver edition. So that came home with me, and then the sequel came home with me.
My issue with that series is that the first covers,
I better.
Quicksilver, so good.
I
What
agree.
the actual fuck are the new covers?
I don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, am I going to look at the covers? No. The spines are quite
Yes,
pretty.
I have it facing out on my shelves because it's pretty.
Yeah, but these ones aren't. So you just put them into your shelves. And
Uh-huh.
look at the pretty spine, because the spine is all foiled and pretty.
Books have to match. Yes,
They do.
They do. But I
No,
think
I'm sorry.
I think for me though, this 100 pages a day thing, I especially recently, because I've been crocheting a lot and making things for some markets that I'm hoping to have in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
I've been crafting a lot, so a hell of a lot of what I've been reading has been audiobooks. So I've been using my Spotify hours. I've been purchasing a lot of Audible credits. And yeah, so
That's the
I
thing.
was considering there's a local book club in Huddersfield,
Mm.
and it's like 9.99 to join. I don't know why it's 9.99 to join. But you get like 90 days on BookBeat. I was gonna join just for that to get 93 days on BookBeat, and then I
It's
decided
not
to give.
free, is it? Because you've paid £9.99. You could probably get
Yeah,
90 days free some other way from BookBeat. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. I suppose. But then you only get 20 hours of listed time, and they do that stupid thing that Spotify does. It doesn't go on the 20 hours that you listen to. It goes on the size of the book.
Yeah. Which is why I was able to listen to this book on Spotify, because on our account we only get 15 hours, which I think is the standard for anybody, but I don't know
Yeah,
how it works. And I'd already read 15. I'd already read 50% of the book, so I only had like 11 hours left anyways
yeah,
by the time I started, so it fit. Whereas when I tried to do that for Legacy of Light, I believe, I got to like the final 2 or 3 chapters and then it cut off because it was like, you've listened to your 15 hours.
shit, man.
Because I started that book quite early on, unfortunately. And yeah, that was fun. So I was reading up until we went live, but again, that's not really a shock for me, to be fair.
Yeah. Like I would definitely reread this series. So far from what I've read so far.
I really
Um,
enjoyed reading it physically. I'm not gonna lie.
See, I would like to reread it and like immersion read it, but at the moment I'm just very hyper fixated on making lots of stuff for markets and also audiobooking because I can like multitask.
The audiobook is
I,
great. I will say it did throw me, and that's why I got a chuckle out of it. Like when I started listening, I was like, okay, there's English, German, and French people in this book. Like, what?
yeah, I loved it. I loved
That's
it.
not
I
what's
really
going on in my head, but okay.
It was a perfect author, perfect narrator for it as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, um, 3 weeks, 3 weeks until the final book, and then we have that's the final book of the year, final book of the year, and then next year we have some other books. I'm
We need to
excited.
actually decide what we're doing because we have.
I'm excited for the optiones. But one thing I do know we're gonna have an old favorite for the geologist,
We're gonna what?
Rob.
Yeah, have to go back to Rob. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have
Me
to
too.
make
My problem at the minute for me is that I am like refinding my love of reading physically and on my Kindle. But at the minute, work is just draining all of my brain power. So when I come home, I just scroll or play stupid games. Um, which is great because it takes no brain power, but not great because I have so many books to read.
It's good. Are you reimagining your gang as it's all about science fiction mention? Wow. You know what though? We did have someone ask if we would read their series, but it was sci-fi. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah. But we do have Rob back next year, and I think other than standalones, we've got like one George that we can read, and then we're up to date on the full series that he's already brought out.
Yeah.
So he
Me
needs to
too.
just hurry up and finish and go to yes.
You can tell him that because I think he's stressed. But yeah.
Yeah, I won't tell him that. I won't. Like, yeah, I imagine he's already pretty stressed about that series anyway. But yeah, we'll be all caught up with Rob, and I more or less at this point have like a Ryan Cahill half shelf, and then the other half is Michael R. Miller, and then we've got Rob Jays covering almost a full shelf as well.
Yeah.
But it was sci-fi, and I died.
Yeah. I think I might struggle to read more sci-fi, if I'm honest. I really enjoy it. When I'm in the mood to read sci-fi, I can binge it so
I'm
much.
very picky.
I
I'm
think,
very picky about my sci-fi.
yeah, like Andrew Weir is so easy to read because he
Yeah,
makes it not a lot. But I love Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky.
However you say his name, I never say it right. But I
Tchaikovsky.
love his books because they are so detailed. But by God, do I need the brain power to read them because they are so detailed?
Yeah. I
He's
feel like if I was gonna veer off and read a series with you that wasn't fantasy, I would want to read like I think his books. I think it's like 10 books long or something. The
oh yeah,
the Black and Gold.
Yeah, yeah,
series, like,
yeah.
yeah,
I agree with
that's sort of like a fantasy sci-fi type of
that. Mm,
vibe. I don't think that's fully yeah, I'm very picky about the sci-fi. It has to be a
yeah.
certain type. Um, so yeah, I don't think I would have enough series that I want to read.
Mm,
So it'd have to be a case of slotting a series in between everything else
yeah.
as like a one-off.
True. Very, very true.
But we've got other things that we want to read next year, so we need to
I've got
jump
so
on.
many things. I've actually had more ideas, by the way, so we'll talk about that as well.
Or we'll talk about that after. Did you know that Tchaikovsky is not how you spell his surname? He mentioned it in Social Truth. It's very different, but it's confusing.
No. Maybe it's because it's from. Maybe it's because it's almost written in English letters. Does that make sense? Like if you've ever read Polish or Russian,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
It's
have different letters.
yeah,
Um, like they've got like an L that looks like a J, and it's actually like a yeah
yeah.
sound, and yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know because obviously his name is not.
I've met him as well, and he's such a sweetheart. And I met him at like blogger brunches, and
Yeah,
he's very much like he admits that he's very socially awkward, and he,
but
you
the
know,
thing is,
and
I think a lot of people are like we had
but
this
everyone's
conversation. I've had this
so
conversation with
nice.
like Matthew Ward. Um, he's like, well, I know that in order to sell my books, I have to speak to people, but I don't always want to speak to people. I'm like, no, I get that. And then
And
you've got like
most
other
authors
authors
that I've
that,
met are hermits, like
yeah,
who like that are quite solitary people.
mm,
Writing is a solitary experience. So,
there it
but
is.
yeah, he's a really really lovely guy, and if anyone would ever get the chance to meet him at like a comic con or something, I would recommend going to speak to him because his mind, even just speaking to him when he explains his worlds and stuff, like
Yeah,
one thing I would like to be able to interview all my favorite authors for one, but in it, I like authors that have big worlds and like this is why I like speaking to fantasy authors and like science fiction authors and that have that kind of brain. It's
yeah,
like you've made all that up. You've made how does your brain work? I like getting like when we had the Ayurveda conversation.
mm,
What a mind! What a mind! He's amazing.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
it's mad. So yeah, I could speak for ages about books with people.
I
But
did last night and it made my throat hurt.
on that note, we will see
Mm.
y'all if you go and watch this later on. We hope you enjoyed our ramblings as per usual. Thank you once again to Tufta McTavish. Sorry if they're not Scottish, I'm just gonna say it in that way because I'm a weirdo. But thank you for joining us as always, Tufta. See you in 3 weeks and see everyone else whenever we see everyone else. Over and out, friends. Boop, boop.
Bye.
Boop, boop, bippity bop, bippity bop.